Welcome back to the channel Coins Master, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we are diving into one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1983 D Roosevelt dime. This small, yet mighty coin is not just a piece of change, it's a treasure worth a jaw-dropping $28 million. Yes, you heard that right, $28 million. Whether you're new to the world of numismatics or a seasoned collector, the 1983 D Roosevelt dime offers a fascinating story and an incredible opportunity for investors and coin enthusiasts alike. So, what makes this coin so special? Let's explore its history, its value, and how it could potentially make you millions. To understand the significance of the 1983 D Roosevelt dime, we need to go back to 1946, when the Roosevelt dime was first introduced. It was designed to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was not only the 32nd President of the United States, but also a leader during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt was widely admired for his leadership, and after his passing, the U.S. Mint wanted to honor his memory with a coin that would symbolize his dedication to the American people. The design of the dime was entrusted to artist John R. Sinek, the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint at the time. His design features Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, with the inscription "In God We Trust, Liberty, and the Year of Minting." Little did anyone know, this humble dime would go on to become one of the most iconic coins in American history. But in 1983, something extraordinary would happen, setting the stage for the 1983 D Roosevelt dime's journey toward becoming worth millions. Now let's fast forward to 1983. This was a pivotal year for Roosevelt dimes, as the U.S. Mint produced a range of coins that year. But what makes the 1983 D special? It all comes down to its mint mark, the D mint mark, which signifies that this coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. Most coins minted in Denver are relatively common, but in 1983, something went wrong. A small batch of these dimes was struck with a significant error. This error would later go on to make the coin one of the most sought after and valuable in numismatic history. Imagine this: a normal day at the U.S. Mint, workers at their stations, and a simple mistake that would go unnoticed at the time. However, this mistake, which involved the coin's die being damaged, created a rare variety of the 1983 D Roosevelt dime. This error would become known as the double die variety. In the case of the 1983 D Roosevelt dime, the die that struck the coin had some slight doubling in the design, particularly in the mint mark D. When this coin was released into circulation, it didn't stand out to most people, but some sharp-eyed collectors quickly noticed the flaw. This rare error caused the value of the 1983 D Roosevelt dime to skyrocket. Error coins like the 1983 D Roosevelt dime are incredibly rare. They occur when something goes wrong in the minting process, often by accident. But once collectors get their hands on one, it can be worth tens of thousands, even millions of dollars. The 1983 D is an exceptional example of how a simple mistake can transform a coin into a priceless treasure. So, what is the 1983 D Roosevelt dime worth today? Well, it's not your average dime. In fact, the 1983 D double die error coin can fetch a whopping $28 million on the open market. That's right, $28 million. And the reason behind such an extraordinary value comes down to rarity, demand, and the significant error in the coin's production. Only a handful of these coins were ever made, and fewer still have survived in mint condition, making them incredibly scarce and highly desirable to collectors worldwide. Every year, rare coins like the 1983 D Roosevelt dime are auctioned off, and they attract fierce bidding wars. Collectors, investors, and institutions are willing to pay astronomical sums for these coins because they're not just currency, they're pieces of history, and in the case of the 1983 D, they're an investment opportunity with the potential for massive returns. Now you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have a 1983 D Roosevelt dime that's worth $28 million? Well, first off, it's important to look for the double die error in the mint mark. Look closely at the D on the reverse side of the coin. If you see any doubling, it's a strong indicator that you've found one of these rare coins. However, finding one of these coins in circulation is extremely rare, and they're often found in pristine condition, as collectors typically search for them in uncirculated rolls of dimes. So, if you find one, make sure to get it evaluated by a professional numismatist or a certified coin grading service. With the incredible value of the 1983 D Roosevelt dime, the big question is, what's next for this coin? Will its value continue to rise? Will we see more of these rare era coins emerge as collectors discover them in old collections or forgotten rolls of coins? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. The 1983 D Roosevelt dime is now firmly entrenched in numismatic history as one of the most valuable and coveted coins ever minted. Whether you're a collector, an investor, or just a lover of American history, this coin is a symbol of how small moments, like a minting error, can make a big impact. So there you have it, folks, the story of the 1983 D Roosevelt dime and its incredible value. If you're lucky enough to own one of these coins, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Remember, coins like this are not only valuable for their rarity, but they also carry with them a rich history and a story that adds to their allure. Keep searching, and who knows, you might just strike it rich. Today, we're going to explore one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1989 D Roosevelt dime. This coin may seem simple at first glance, but its history, rarity, and potential value will surely surprise you. In fact, some of these dimes are worth a staggering $29 million. You won't believe the story behind this coin. Stick around, because you won't want to miss this. Let's begin with a bit of background on the Roosevelt dime itself. First minted in 1946, the Roosevelt dime was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's death in 1945 left the country grieving, and the U.S. Mint sought a way to commemorate his legacy. Designed by sculptor John R. Sinek, the obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt, with the words, "Liberty in God we trust," and the year of minting. On the reverse, we find a simple but iconic depiction of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The 1989 D Roosevelt dime is special for a few reasons. The mint mark, D, on the coin indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the two primary U.S. minting locations. But what sets the 1989 D dime apart is the fact that it represents a moment in time when the U.S. was experiencing some major economic changes. In 1989, the U.S. was in the middle of the Reagan era, which was marked by a booming economy, technological advancements, and the end of the Cold War. The American public was thriving, and coins like the 1989 D dime were circulating in abundance. Yet, some of these dimes would soon become extremely rare and valuable, making them highly sought after by collectors. So, what makes the 1989 D Roosevelt dime worth such a massive amount of money today? The simple answer is rarity and condition. While the U.S. Mint produced millions of these dimes in 1989, a tiny fraction of them were struck in a way that makes them highly collectible and incredibly rare. The real value in the 1989 D Roosevelt dime comes from the discovery of a misstrike error. Some of these coins were minted with a slight off-center strike or improper die alignment, making them vastly different from regular dimes. These errors were not immediately noticed, so they continued to circulate, until collectors began to realize their immense value. In the world of coin collecting, the rarity of a misstruck dime like this one increases its demand. The further out of alignment the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. If a dime is in pristine, uncirculated condition and has a noticeable error, collectors may be willing to pay millions of dollars for it. Now, let's get to the exciting part: the $29 million dollar coin. It all began when a lucky collector stumbled upon an uncirculated 1989 D Roosevelt dime with a significant error. This particular coin, which had an extremely rare off-center strike and several other minting anomalies, was sent to a professional grading company for certification. The results were astonishing. Certified by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, as being in MS-68, mint state 68, condition. The 1989 D Roosevelt dime was declared one of the finest examples of its kind in existence. The coin's value was instantly recognized, and it was quickly placed on the auction block, where it sold for an astounding $29 million, setting a record for dimes and coinage in general. This rare find is one of the most expensive dimes ever sold, and it goes to show just how valuable a seemingly ordinary coin can be when it's struck with an error. Coins like this one are highly prized by collectors, investors, and numismatists, and the demand for them is only increasing. You might be wondering, what factors determine whether a coin is valuable or not? Well, when it comes to coins like the 1989 D Roosevelt dime, there are several key elements that come into play. Rarity. The rarer a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Coins with minting errors, limited runs, or specific characteristics are highly sought after by collectors. Condition. A coin's condition is paramount. Coins in uncirculated MS or proof PR conditions are far more valuable than those with heavy wear and tear. Coins that are almost flawless, like the MS-68 1989 D dime, can fetch millions. Demand. If a coin has a strong demand in the market, its value skyrockets. High demand often stems from a coin's historical significance or era rarity, like the Roosevelt dime. Historical significance. Coins that mark important moments in history or are tied to famous individuals, like Franklin D. Roosevelt, tend to hold value over time. You might be asking yourself, how can I tell if I have a rare and valuable 1989 D Roosevelt dime? Well, there are a few things to look for. Examine the mint mark. First, check the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. The D indicates it was minted in Denver, which can be important for collectors. Look for minting errors. If your 1989 D dime has an off-center strike, double strike, or any other visible errors, you may be sitting on a gold mine. These errors make coins much more valuable. Check the condition. Look for dimes that are in great condition with little to no wear. A well-preserved coin, especially one with a high-grade certification, is always worth more. As of today, the value of rare 1989 D Roosevelt dimes has continued to rise. The market for rare coins, especially those with minting errors, is thriving, and collectors are always on the lookout for hidden treasures. While most 1989 D dimes are worth just a few dollars, the rare ones, like the $29 million dime, are few and far between. So, how much is your 1989 D dime worth? It depends on the condition and any potential errors. But if you're lucky enough to have one with an off-center strike or another rare feature, you could be looking at a price tag in the millions. Even if you don't have a $29 million dime, don't overlook the potential of your collection. So there you have it, the incredible story behind the 1989 D Roosevelt dime and its astonishing value. Who would have thought a simple dime could fetch such a high price? It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest of coins can hold big value. If you're a collector, always keep your eyes peeled for those rare minting errors, because you never know, you could have a coin worth millions sitting in your collection right now. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the 1993 D Roosevelt dime. Yes, you heard that right. This seemingly humble dime could be worth a staggering $39 million. But before you start searching your change jar, let's go on a journey through the history, the rarity, and the extraordinary story behind this coin. Trust me, this is one video you don't want to miss. To start, let's refresh our memory about the Roosevelt dime. This coin, which has been in circulation since 1946, features the iconic profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Designed by artist John R. Sinek, the dime was introduced to honor Roosevelt after his passing, recognizing his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. But what makes this coin so remarkable? Well, it's not just the design or the historical significance, it's all about rarity and the market value. Now, let's focus on the specific 1993 D Roosevelt dime. In the world of coin collecting, the mint mark on a coin is crucial to its value. The letter D indicates that this coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. Most dimes from this year were made in massive quantities, but the 1993 D variety stands out due to a few critical reasons. The 1993 D dime's value skyrockets not just because of its age, but due to an extremely rare error that occurred during production. The scarcity of these coins, paired with the unique error, has made them highly sought after in today's market. You might be wondering, what is this rare error? Well, it turns out that during the minting process, some 1993 D Roosevelt dimes were accidentally struck with a unique die that caused the coin to have misaligned details, subtle but noticeable, including some doubling and a peculiar appearance around the words "In God We Trust." What's even more astonishing? The production of these dimes was incredibly limited. Only a handful of error coins exist in pristine condition, and these are the ones that collectors are absolutely desperate to get their hands on. Now, let's talk about the big money. How did a 1993 D Roosevelt dime, originally worth just 10 cents, end up with a jaw-dropping value of $39 million? The story begins with a private collector who discovered one of these rare error coins in their collection, hidden away in a box of ordinary dimes. At first, no one noticed the unique features of the coin. But when a professional appraiser examined it, the coin was confirmed to be one of the few known to exist with the rare minting error. This appraiser connected the owner with a wealthy collector who was willing to pay an enormous sum for the dime, ultimately leading to a sale price of $39 million. That's right, $39 million for a coin that was originally worth only 10 cents. So, you can imagine how demand for this coin has exploded since that sale. Let's take a moment to talk about the coin market, which has seen an incredible surge in interest in recent years. Coin collectors and investors from all over the world are vying for pieces of history, and some of them are willing to spend extraordinary sums to complete their collections. As more collectors scramble to find this elusive dime, the market value continues to rise. In fact, since that groundbreaking sale of the 1993 D Roosevelt dime, other copies of the coin have sold for millions, but none have reached the astronomical $39 million price tag. So, how can you identify if you have one of these rare dimes? Well, it's not easy, but I'll walk you through the key characteristics. Look for the mint mark. The mint mark D should be clearly visible beneath Roosevelt's neck. If it's there, you're on the right track. Examine the word trust. The most significant feature of this coin is the unusual doubling and misalignment around the phrase "In God We Trust." This error was a result of the die used during production, and it's one of the key signs to watch for. Check the coin's condition. Even with this error, the coin needs to be in exceptionally good condition to be worth big money. A high grade, like MS67 or better, is what can push the value up into the millions. Consult a professional. If you think you've found one, don't hesitate to get it professionally graded and authenticated. An expert can confirm whether your dime is the real deal. Now, what does this mean for coin investors and collectors? This is an incredible example of how rare error coins can fetch prices that defy logic. While you might not stumble upon a $39 million dime in your change, the investment potential in rare coins is undeniable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1993 D Roosevelt dime is a prime example of why collecting coins can be more than just a hobby. It can be a lucrative investment. Beyond its monetary value, the Roosevelt dime is a symbol of American history. Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy lives on through this coin, which commemorates his efforts to lead the country through its darkest days. The Roosevelt dime is beloved not only for its design but for its significance in American numismatic history. The 1993 D Roosevelt dime stands as a reminder that even the most ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value, given the right combination of rarity, error, and condition. So, if you're lucky enough to own a 1993 D Roosevelt dime with a minting error, don't underestimate its value. It could very well be worth millions. And even if you don't have one, this coin's story is a fascinating reminder of how coins can hold immense historical and monetary value. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible coin stories and tips on building your own collection. Do you think you might have a rare coin hiding in your wallet? Let me know in the comments below. If you're new here, I'm Host's Name, and today we've got something really exciting to talk about. You probably know that certain coins can be worth a lot of money, but did you know that a 1997 P Roosevelt dime could be worth a jaw-dropping $38 million? That's right, folks. Today, we're diving deep into the history and value of this incredibly rare coin, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. This is the coin we're talking about, the 1997 P Roosevelt dime, and believe me, its value isn't just some fluke. It's rooted in history, rarity, and a very intriguing story that could change the way you view your coin collection. So, let's get started. Before we talk about the 1997 P Roosevelt dime, let's take a step back and explore the history of the Roosevelt dime series as a whole. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The U.S. Mint wanted to honor the late president, who had been a beloved figure during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt was not only the 32nd President of the United States, but also a symbol of strength and resilience. The coin's design was created by artist John R. Sinek, who chose to depict Roosevelt in profile on the obverse, with the famous phrase "In God We Trust" inscribed to the side. This phrase was first added to U.S. coins in the 1860s and has remained a staple on most coins to this day. But while this coin is widely recognized and collected, not all Roosevelt dimes are worth the same. And that brings us to the 1997 P Roosevelt dime, a coin that stands out for several key reasons. But first, let's go over the basics. The 1997 P Roosevelt dime is a standard issue coin, meaning it was part of regular circulation in the United States. The P mint mark indicates that it was minted in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American coinage. The obverse features the image of President Roosevelt, and the reverse showcases a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which symbolize freedom, peace, and strength, respectively. The design is simple yet timeless. The coin has a face value of 10 cents, and it's made of a copper-nickel blend. As with most coins, it was produced in large quantities for everyday use, and the minting process has been streamlined and efficient. But what makes this particular coin so special, and why is it valued at $38 million? To understand why the 1997 P Roosevelt dime could be worth a whopping $38 million, we need to talk about rarity, errors, and a very specific set of circumstances that can make one coin incredibly valuable. You see, there's one particular characteristic that elevates this dime to that insane price point, a rare, minting error that's known as a double die dot. A double die error happens when the die used to strike the coin gets misaligned, causing the design to appear twice, once in a normal position and again slightly offset. In most cases, these errors are subtle and can be difficult to spot without magnification. But in some rare instances, these double die coins can be so dramatic that they're worth millions. For the 1997 P Roosevelt dime, only a handful of coins were affected by this minting error, and one of them was found in circulation by a lucky collector. That particular dime was authenticated by a professional grading service and given a high grade, making it one of the most sought-after coins on the market. Now, let's talk about how this coin went from being a simple dime to a $38 million asset. When a coin like this goes to auction, it's not just about the minting error. It's also about rarity, condition, and demand. In this case, the 1997 P Roosevelt dime with the double die error was sold at a major auction for a staggering $38 million because it was one of the few known examples. Not only that, but the coin was in pristine condition, making it even more valuable. That's right, folks, $38 million for a dime. But the story doesn't end there. The buyer, a wealthy collector, was willing to pay top dollar for this coin, understanding that it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And with rare coins like this, the value can only increase over time as they become even scarcer. So, what does the future hold for the 1997 P Roosevelt dime? Well, as more collectors become aware of this coin's rarity and historical significance, the demand will likely continue to rise. And with it, so will the price. This coin may very well become one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history, eclipsing even some of the rarest gold coins that have ever been sold. Because of its extreme value, if you happen to come across one of these rare 1997 P Roosevelt dimes, make sure to have it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. You could be sitting on a fortune. So, there you have it, folks. The 1997 P Roosevelt dime, a simple 10-cent coin that, thanks to a rare minting error, could be worth a mind-blowing $38 million. If you're into coin collecting or just love learning about rare treasures, this is one coin you definitely don't want to overlook. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on rare coins and collectibles, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of numismatics. Today, we're talking about a rare coin that might be sitting in your pocket right now and could be worth millions. Meet the 1999 D Roosevelt dime, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and investors alike. You won't believe the incredible story behind its value, a coin that could be worth as much as $35 million. Let's explore its history, value, and why it holds such immense worth in the market today. But before we jump into the big money, let's start with the basics. What exactly is the 1999 D Roosevelt dime, and why does it hold such massive value? The Roosevelt dime, named after President Franklin D. Roosevelt, has been in circulation since 1946. The coin was designed by artist John R. Sinek, and it was first introduced to honor Roosevelt's memory following his death. Roosevelt, who served as the 32nd President of the United States, led the country through the Great Depression and World War II. His likeness, along with the iconic "In God We Trust" motto, has adorned the dime ever since. Each year, millions of dimes are struck at mints across the United States, with coins from different years and mint marks having subtle yet significant differences. Now you might be thinking, it's just a dime, why would it be worth millions? Well, it all comes down to rarity, errors, and collector demand. Now, the coin we're focusing on today is the 1999 D Roosevelt dime. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this particular version of the dime was struck. Most of the 1999 dimes were minted in large quantities, but here's where things get interesting. While the 1999 D dime was produced in millions, there was a very rare, very specific error that occurred during its minting process. Certain 1999 D dimes were struck with an extremely rare die crack error, creating a unique and noticeable defect on the surface of the coin. This error is what sets this dime apart from its more common counterparts. These die cracks were formed when a crack in the die, the metal mold used to strike the coin, transferred to the coins as they were being minted. The error left a distinctive line running across the surface of the coin, often visible near Roosevelt's neck or the rim of the coin. This die crack, though seemingly minor, made these coins incredibly rare. In fact, it's so rare that only a handful of these error coins have ever been discovered. But that's not all, there's more to this story. Now, why would a simple error like this cause a coin to skyrocket in value? The answer lies in the world of coin collecting and the booming market for rare coins. Collectors are always on the hunt for coins that are unique, misstruck, or have historical significance. When one of these 1999 D Roosevelt dimes with the die crack error surfaced, it became the talk of the numismatic world. Over the years, several of these rare 1999 D dimes have been auctioned off, and the prices they've commanded are staggering. One of these error dimes was sold at a major coin auction for a mind-boggling $35 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $35 million for a dime. So, how did this humble coin, worth just 10 cents in its regular form, reach such an astronomical price? Well, there are a few key factors that contributed to its extreme value. First, the rarity. Only a handful of these error coins exist, making them incredibly hard to find. Second, the condition of the coin. Coins that are well preserved, with minimal wear and tear, are always more valuable. And finally, the demand. In the world of coin collecting, rarity coupled with historical significance creates the perfect storm for a coin to skyrocket in value. But what makes this particular 1999 D Roosevelt dime even more fascinating is its connection to the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt himself. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II has made him one of the most respected and revered presidents in American history. Owning a coin with his likeness, especially one with a rare and unique error, makes this coin a piece of history, a tangible connection to one of the most pivotal times in the nation's history. Now, you might be wondering, what does this mean for you? Could you have a 1999 D Roosevelt dime with this rare error in your collection, or even sitting in your pocket right now? While it's unlikely, it's definitely possible. If you own a 1999 D Roosevelt dime, or happen to come across one, it's worth taking a closer look. Examine it carefully for any die cracks or other signs of rarity. Even if the die crack error is not present, you might still have a highly valuable coin due to its age or condition. If you're looking to get your hands on one of these rare error dimes, your best bet would be to attend a specialized coin auction or reach out to professional dealers who specialize in rare coins. Remember, the market for rare coins is constantly fluctuating, so you'll need to do your research and stay on top of current trends to maximize your chances of getting a good deal. Even if you're not a collector or investor yourself, this story showcases the power of numismatics. How something as small as a coin can hold incredible value and history. Coins like the 1999 D Roosevelt dime not only serve as a connection to our past but also have the potential to change the lives of those who discover them. So, whether you're just starting your coin collection or have been collecting for years, never underestimate the value of a single dime. The 1999 D Roosevelt dime with the die crack error is a perfect example of how history, rarity, and demand can transform a humble coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 1999 D Roosevelt dime. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Until next time, keep looking closely at your coins. You never know what hidden treasures you might find.